live in LA.
Hold up, and go.
We're live.
Hey guys, so my name is Paul Roseberry. I'm a stand-up comedian. I live in Los Angeles. I've got Behind the Comic podcast and Instagram page for storytelling. Anything entertaining and funny, that's kind of what I do. And I do some real estate during the day. So there's that too in Beverly Hills. Kind of wild times.
Jesus, that's awesome.
You're
man.
like Batman, except like the
Jack of
alter
all
ego is a
trades.
comic.
Dude, it's wild times. It's wild stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever sold a house to like someone who's really famous up in Beverly Hills?
So I'll tell you this. So I'm newer to the Beverly Hills market. All right, I was like a leasing agent, if you will, because everybody in New York City leases. I used to be in New York City. That's what I did there. Beverly Hills is newer to me. Yesterday, I was in a home that originally listed for $100 million.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ!
Jesus Christ.
Back the fuck up.
All the money in my town, you couldn't buy that house.
Dude, I couldn't trade people for that house. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck? Yeah, $100 million. Do you know what the taxes are on that? It's a lot. It's more than most people make in a year in taxes.
Jesus Christ, man.
Absurd. Dude, right next door, the neighbor next door is the guy who invented Minecraft. Sold it.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah, you guys probably, He did a $2.2 billion deal with Microsoft. Elvis Presley used to live across the street.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
I don't know if you know who, you guys know who David Geffen is? You ever heard of him?
David Geffen, no.
He's an older guy. He had Geffen Records. He was a big record producer in like the 90s. Guns N' Roses. He produced all their albums.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Oh, he's a mogul. He paid $30 million for the dirt next door to this house.
What the fuck? What?
Meaning an
Nice.
empty lot. There's no house. It's been demolished. There's only a dirt flat area. $30 million for the dirt. No house. Not even a toilet to piss in. Nothing.
Sure, man. You can just
Nope.
piss on the dirt pile, you know? Like,
Yeah, man.
it's a
Stick
bath.
out a
Wherever
little
you-
hole.
Piss wherever he wants.
Imagine you just bring someone up there and you're like, yeah, this is my $30 million dirt lot. You like I sometimes come up here on my jog, take a shit, just walk
Yeah,
away.
whatever you want. When someone says something isn't worth dirt, you got to specify now. You got like, which dirt? Whose dirt? It's David Geffen's dirt. You've told me nothing of relevant value because could be 30 mil.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
I think we just found the name for this episode already. $30 million
$30 million
dirt.
dirt.
Dude, you scratch your head for sure.
So you said you did a stand-up. So how long have you been doing that for, and how'd you get into that?
So that's a tough answer, but we'll all right. So I started watching stand-up when I was a kid. Loved it. Like when I was like 6, 7 years old, I would come home from school. I mean, shit, maybe 8 at the oldest. And I'd look for like stand-up spotlight on VH1. Just anything that was, this is, all right, I'm 41. So we didn't even have Comedy Central.
Oh wow.
Didn't exist. I feel like Abraham Lincoln. Like, didn't even have it. You just have to get lucky. I don't even know if we had a remote. You just have to like hit buttons and switch through the so it was hard to find stand-up, but I loved it. It was the only thing I want to watch on TV. Sometimes I'd get lucky, like my parents would buy a VHS or like my grandmother would buy all these VHS. So I had this Rodney Dangerfield DVD with Seinfeld, Sam Kinison, and Roseanne back in the day. So I'd watch that all the time. And yeah, I was just hooked. I thought it was like, to a kid, I always liked intellect. I like things that make you think and laugh. So stand-up did it. It was like some of the smartest people ever, because you got to really creatively bring thoughts together that don't otherwise fit. And I always thought that was awesome. So, yeah, I was always a fan. And then senior year of high school, we had a talent show coming up. My buddies like, we should all think of something to do for the talent show. I was like, fuck it, I'll do stand-up. Why not? And I was terrified, man. I didn't know why I signed up. Like, just because I watch it on TV doesn't mean I should be doing it in front of everyone I know at school. That's like the most terrifying audience ever. But I did it. I made some off-color, like non-PC jokes about fat Barbies and gay G.I. Joes. And and you know what? I still have a buddy to this day who was in the audience, and he still texts me pieces of those jokes. A girl ran out of the room screaming. A girl, she yelled at me and ran out of the audience, furious. That's when I knew I was in the right direction. That's
the goal.
Have you encountered other stuff like that throughout your career?
You know what? So, yeah, actually, yeah. So, yeah, fuck them. And I stand to my guns. I'll put them right on their heels because I know where I'm coming from. You know, like I don't make half-assed jokes. Like I'm not up here doing like just gross, you know, poop and piss jokes or dick. You know, like I think about what I write, and I say it because I want to give you something to chew on. You know what I mean? I want to give you something, and sometimes people don't like my direction. It's gonna happen, and man, these kids went off on me. Shit, so hard a few months ago. These fucking room full of bitches, man. I don't imagine. Dude, listen to this. You want to talk about some shit? All right. I went to an open mic in LA. They should call it Open Wound. That's what they should call it. Just a sad batch in this room this day. And this fucking girl, what did I do? I made a joke about why dogs are better than cats.
Oh, no.
Bro, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't. What the? How? Like, how is that even edgy? That's like if you're gonna do a cruise ship or something. You know what I mean? That's like if there are seniors in the crowd. Like, okay, I'll just do dogs and cats. Like, it's so soft. This chick, this girl got on after me. She's probably like 21, 22 for her whole 5 minutes. Now, mind you, an open mic, you pay $5 to get your 5 minutes. She spent her whole 5 minutes from the gate, right out the gate, telling me, I'm sure you don't have any friends, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, what? Okay.
I didn't know you could pay $5 to just shit on people in public.
Dude, you shouldn't. But you know what? All right. You might have something there. Maybe that's a new thing.
We're pretty nice. Like,
yeah,
we'll do it
everyone gets together.
Thomas, write this down. Write this down.
$5. You pick out one person in the audience. Yeah, you pick out one person in the audience and be like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy.
We're going on tour.
The way you're looking at me."
In fact, you know what? Like, let everyone go up first and do like 2 minutes about themselves so you can poignantly shit on them. Like, actually get some deep cut, fuck you personally kind of shit.
Someone's like, oh yeah, hi, my name is John, and my favorite drink is milk. Next person up is like, by the way, John, how the fuck can you drink milk? You disgust me on so many
levels. Everyone, I'm Steve, and John's a bitch.
John's a bitch. I'm going to go buy a gallon of milk and throw it at John in the parking lot. Fuck John.
Hey,
milk,
fuck you, John.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be like an S&M. You know how people pay dominatrixes to whip them and stuff like that?
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? This.
Dara actually has that line of business, man. Tell them all about it, Dara. Dara,
listen, that's the business I run on the side, Thomas. Shut up.
Shit.
I love where this is going so far. The first 10 minutes, beautiful.
You guys are fun. I could tell you guys are fun. I was like, this is going to be a wild bunch here. But seeing who you had for guests and shit, I was like, these guys. And I watched some video where one of you was just throwing a stick in the river, and you're like, this is who you are if you don't watch. Like, Fucking, I can't wait to meet these guys.
Oh, let me give a bit of context.
Doesn't even make
Mandara.
sense.
So me and old Tommy Boy went for a cycle, and we came across a piece of turf, which is pretty common in Ireland, and it's like right beside a lake. And I was just like, if you subscribe, you get a free shot of turf. It's pretty much just stuff that you burn. It's like coal. You just put it in a fire and you burn it.
It's a kind of mud we burn in Ireland.
Exactly.
Yeah, like burning wood in the fireplace, but
it's like everyone's like, "Oh, you've turf? Oh, no way! That's crazy!" It's just this big thing, right? And I was just like, "You get a free shot of turf, but if you don't subscribe, you're going the fucking lake, man."
Yeah.
And I think
If
I
you
got the
come
message
along-
across pretty good.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's like, who was it? Teddy Roosevelt said, "Speak softly, but carry a big stick." That's how you got to do it. You know?
Carry a fucking sod of turf, lads.
Yeah, you give them a nice gift, like, hey, you can join our show and get a free gift. But if you don't, you're going to the fucking lake. Like, I like it.
Exactly.
I like it. That's good
Tommy,
marketing.
put him in the fucking lake.
Put them in the fucking lake. And if you subscribe now that you're drowning, we'll pull you out.
I should have ended with that. Man, that's not even the half of it. On Twitter, I don't know who's running our Twitter out of the three of us, but whoever they are have just been threatening to kill all three hosts if people don't subscribe.
I love it.
Yeah.
I make those posts the whole time. I'm like,
If you don't subscribe, we're gonna have to legally euthanize one of our hosts. And we're like, okay.
Do you want that on your shoulders? Just subscribe. Just subscribe. Why would you? Don't do that to yourself.
Like, do you want a guilty conscience? No. So hit that fucking sub button.
Yeah.
I have this big plan, and because of COVID, we can't really meet up with each other when we do. We're gonna I hope to plan some kind of fake murder where one of us has a fake BB gun, right?
A fake ransom video.
I have a
I haven't been told about
someone
this.
points that on my head to make a fake, someone's dead, this is on your shoulders, should have subscribed. I'm not in the podcast for a week. People think I'm actually dead,
Yeah.
This is going to go on, and we're going to be investigated.
Yeah. You don't even have to say dead. You guys can just act really, the other two of you can be really concerned about the third guy missing. And you're like, man,
And hey, if we're pulled into a murder investigation, I mean, no, all publicity is good publicity.
100%. 100%. Call me as an accomplice. I could use a little boost. I'd get a few more subscribers too.
Actually, speaking of subscribers, your YouTube channel is pretty funny, and it looks like you put a lot of work behind your videos.
And I have 4 subscribers. I'm 2 of them. Are you noticing that? Is that?
I subscribed earlier because I felt a little bad.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome. That's what I like. A little pity subscribe. Sweet.
29
Awesome.
now. I'm gonna stay tuned.
Is it really? So the thing is this. I hadn't done. I don't know the first thing about any of that stuff. I didn't do anything with YouTube or anything. I started doing this bar background. I was wearing my robe before. Doing the stories, just basically because COVID shut everything down. Mm-hmm. I had never really tried to utilize the platform, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, any of that. And I had thought it would be a good idea before. I was like, you know what? Because the thing with comedy is you got to get stage time. And I don't know. It's not always the easiest thing. Sometimes you have a million things going on. You got to hobnob. You got to be friends with the bitch who didn't like me for cats. I got to be fucking friends with a chick like that so that I don't know. I don't always make a ton of friends in really soft environments. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, shit. I've got some downtime. I saw that a couple famous comedians were doing posts from their car while driving. I'm like, oh, this is open field. All right, I can get in on this. And so, yeah, I've got my girlfriend, she reads a ton of books. She's going to start reading one shortly on internet marketing. I mean, this sounds so half-assed, but yeah, we're kind of starting from the bottom. I got to figure out how to boost subscribers and all that. Have you guys looked into that? You guys know
we
the
take
science?
that pretty seriously.
Yeah, we just try to we try to market on as many platforms as we can to as many people. So we'll do like an episode. We'll do like an educational episode on like de-extinction or something. So we'll throw that into a couple of de-extinction groups on like Discord or Reddit or like Twitter and stuff like that. And
or
then
just say we're doing this now with you, like tonight now. We're planning to put this in. Just say Reddit now. We'll put this in r/comedy r/comedians.
like,
you know.
Yeah, we'll put it in like a stand-up Reddit or something like that. And then people who like stand up, they'll be like, "Oh shit, okay, well I'll watch this." Like,
yep.
It'd be kind of funny if we just did this now, and someone clicked in from that link is like, wait, they planned this.
What is that? Now? That they planned
Kind of like an Inception. Someone who like clicks on it later, and they're listening to us saying that now.
Yeah.
like,
this
holy
is all
shit,
to get
they
me
set
here,
up.
and I'm here. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I started to do another pod with a buddy of mine. He's a comic as well. It's much more loose. It's not as formatted as like comics telling stories and shit like that. It's just he and I just getting loose, just talking about whatever's on our mind. Yeah. And we're only a couple in. We haven't even edited a whole episode, but we were realizing along those lines, we'll get different guests, we'll hit different topics. And then next up, I always hear a ton about Reddit. I got to figure that shit out.
It's kind of funny, but it was really easy. It's like posting whatever topic you want to talk about. And like one of two things will happen. People will love it or they're going to shit on you.
Oh, yeah.
If you're me,
that's fine.
It's the latter.
I've perfectly figured out how to use Reddit, I think, now, boys. There's a thing called karma, and karma is basically like points for posting and people liking your stuff. And I know exactly how that works, so I know how Reddit works.
The reason you have that much karma is because you made a post yesterday.
Yeah, well, I learned how to use it yesterday.
Like, one of these, all right, like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books?
Okay, yeah.
It was like one of them, but it's like a kind of, you interact with it as well, so you can like write stuff in it and stuff like that. And one of the things was...
Okay.
It's like, it's like, it has like fun games like crosswords and stuff like that, but there was one thing in it and it was like, this is Greg's brain, and it's like shows it's like video games, girls, TV, school, stuff like that, and it's like, show us what's in your brain. And so Thomas thought it'd be a good idea to split the brain in two halves.
Oh god, no.
I have to.
What'd you put? And put what?
He put porn on one side.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay. And mass genocide on the other.
Holy shit. All right. Stir the pot.
I got the best comment I got was like, someone goes, well, technically porn is mass genocide. Had to be the best comment on that one. Okay.
Man,
it was Reddit is...
Guys, just remember, you can never unsay what you've just said.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I try to keep in mind the beauty of having edgy topics, because I like to write comedy, about anything. Like once you train your mind how to see things in a comedic perspective and ways that will be deliverable to others, anything you can make a joke about anything. About fucking
even an
at the store.
$8 prostitute.
There he is. Right? But it's more fun when it's edgy, exactly like that. Like I know when you hear the notion that I paid a prostitute, you're like, oh my God, this guy's a scumbag, he fucking hired someone for sex. And then you find out, nah, I mean, not really. Yes, but no, so like it's fun to ride an edge.
But no.
Yeah, that was a really funny video you did, actually, I gotta say.
Thanks,
like
man. That's a true story.
Do you want to tell the story for everyone that
go
might
ahead,
not know?
I mean, I'll just kind of paraphrase. I'll let people click on to hear the whole thing because I really think that detail is important. But the idea is that I paid $8 for a sexual encounter on Sunset Strip in Hollywood, and it occurred behind a dumpster by Wendy's. And if that doesn't get you curious, then don't click. But if it does, give me 5.5 minutes and find out exactly how the fuck that went down.
Yeah, we're going to link that in the description. And if you haven't already, you should probably subscribe. to.
I did. Come on now. You think I'd come on here and not have subscribed?
No. Like
No,
the
we're telling
viewers
the viewers to
subscribe to
subscribe
you.
to
Oh,
you.
okay. Oh shit! Did I just break the fourth wall?
No man, your Instagram. I was watching it. I've been watching it for like when I was contacting you for the last 2 or 3 weeks, man. I've been watching your Instagram. You were fucking hilarious, bro. Those bus stories. I cannot stop laughing at those.
Yeah.
Like,
These are great. Thank you. All real shit.
It's actually crazy, like the amount of things that happen.
Dude, all right. I really that does a lot for me because when I post, like I said, I haven't dug into how to, expand much with Instagram. I did a little bit of like $5 a day advertising, but mostly it's just people who know me who see that shit. And you get like 8 or 10 comments from people who you know. But it's nice when it's someone who doesn't know you and they're like, hey, this is all I know of you and I like it. You're like, oh, fuck yeah. All right, cool. I haven't, I've got some shit coming up. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I like kind of a series probably about when I took 30 hits of acid. When
Holy
I was
shit.
Yeah. I didn't mean to.
Jesus.
I didn't mean to. That wasn't the plan, but I did. And I fucking moved away. Those stories will be coming up. Those will be coming up soon. It's
I'm actually looking forward to this.
Man, you must have tripped for at least a week.
Dude, I tripped for 3 months. I bought the whole vial and did that shit 3-4 times a week.
Oh my
You fucking kidding me? I went hard, bro. Dude, I put on like a disguise and just walked around San Diego for 3 months, just observing people and life. It was a trip. It was a trip. It was, dude. I got this tattoo. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is fucking awesome.
Dude, I'll tell you about that. I was doing a lot of acid at the time. Tons. Loving it. And working at like a CD store in Pacific Beach and all this shit. I don't know. And I just realized that's when I found out comedians had albums. I didn't even know. Like I was naive, and I saw all these different albums in this comedy section. And I'm looking at the cover art and I'm like, man, like, it'd be so cool to have an album, And I was like, what would I call it? And I was mad at this chick. Like, I just broken up with this girl. I was mad at her. And I was like, she had like a really cool life going on in Boston, working at a club, going to college and shit. And I was like, well, I'm out here doing acid in San Diego, so I guess I'd call my album What's Up Now, Bitch? That was that was my idea. And then I started getting psychological about this tattoo. And I'm like, man, I got to find someone with that tattoo. And then I was like, obviously no one has that shit. Like, I'm not going to find some dude. Who do I think I'm going to find with that tattoo? So I'm like, all right, I'm in. I'm getting it. I'm going to do it. I'll go get it myself. And I'm like, fuck, this is crazy. So I go down to a few tattoo parlors in Pacific Beach. And I go to this one that has, like, if you were doing a commercial and you wanted a guy who looks like he works at a tattoo shop, this is the dude, all right? He was gigantic, like over 6 feet tall, over 300 pounds, just a big, huge fucking hulking man, fat and buff, covered in tats. I think he had like a jean vest and no shirt, just a big, massive fuck, right? And so I tell this guy, I walk up to the counters, no one else in there. He's like, what can I do for you? And I walk in all fucking white boy from New Hampshire, all clean cut. I was 21. And I was like, yeah, man, so I want to get like this heart, right? And I want to get like where it usually says a girl's name. I want to put bitch right there. And yeah. He looks at me and he's like, what? I said, yeah, so like how much? Just cuts to the chase. Well, what are we looking at for money? Like as if I didn't think it was weird anymore because I thought about it for a day. And he just looks at me with like one eye. He's like, it's $150. And he goes, but if you're serious, you don't just walk in here and ask for that tattoo. He goes, here's my card. Call in advance. You schedule it with me because I'm going to be the one to do it because you're fucking nuts. And I was like, yes, that guy just called me crazy. That guy? That's the craziest looking dude I've seen ever, maybe. Fuck yeah. All right, definitely I'm getting this tattoo. Definitely. Now we're talking. And I didn't end up getting it from him. I got it from this Korean guy on my way home that day.
Nice.
Yeah. Tiger Jimmy put that shit on my arm. I went home because I hit a bunch of spots and 150 was the going rate. Everyone said $1.50, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll decide, if I got the $1.50 because I was broke. I'm just doing acid in San Diego. I don't have any money right now. And so I take the bus home, and as I get off the bus, I see there's a really different looking tattoo shop, and it's really there's this Korean guy in a white lab coat behind the glass, like right in the front window. And I'm like, man, that guy looks so much cleaner than all those degenerates I've been talking to at Pacific Beach. Oh man, I'd probably catch fewer diseases over here. I should at least check the price. So I go in and I'm looking, they had the tattoo heart, but with like a name. I think it said mom or something fucked up. And I was like, yeah, I want that. And I want bitch. And I don't think he even knew what bitch was. And I was like, how much? He goes, $100. And I was like, $100? It's 50 less than I heard. And I was like, all right. So how do we schedule this? He goes, right now. And I'm like, oh shit. He goes, we do it now, $100 right now. And I'm like, done, Tiger Jimmy. Let's get this fucking ink. And right then, yeah, Jimmy just redded me up real quick right there. Bam, done. Wild times, dude. Wild times.
Jesus Christ, that's possibly the best tattoo story I've ever heard in my life. Now, I watched a video earlier, and when I was watching this video, I was like, "There's no fucking way that all of this shit is true." But I want to talk to you about the party at Paris Hilton's house.
Yeah.
And just the amount of fucking wacky shit.
I couldn't believe half of the stuff I heard.
And the weirdest part was that Flava Flav comes out of fucking nowhere, and he's just like, some motherfucker.
On my life. I'm glad that story translates to the level of absurdity that goes on in it. I'm glad, because sometimes you wonder, like, did I tell that story well enough? Or not that story, any story. Yes. It was ridiculous. It was absurd. It was absurd. Dude, I mean, like, there was nothing. I don't know if there's a lower feeling than moving trash cans so that you can park your piece of shit Nissan outside of Paris Hilton's house because you don't think a valet would not hit other people's real cars with it, Like, that's low. But then I don't know if there's a higher high than watching Paris and Brittany grind each other in bikinis with Suge Knight 3 feet away from you. And then, Flava Flav just buddies up with an arm. What up? What the fuck?
Thomas over here loves Seth MacFarlane and he loves Family Guy. And I told him about you just chilling with Seth MacFarlane. He's like, what the fuck?
Dude. I was hammered at that point. Hammered. I don't know if I made coherent speech transactions with Seth MacFarlane. I may have just kind of glaze-eyed stared as my buddy talked to him, but I wasn't kidding. My buddy, he did learn from Seth that Seth wanted Paris's number and was afraid to ask, so my buddy did.
Oh, wow.
That's insane.
Seth MacFarlane is one of the most iconic, amazing cartoons in the history of television. He doesn't have the sack to go ask fucking like Paris Hilton for her phone number. And yet my buddy, who was like a PA, like a production assistant at the time, he's very successful now, but at the time he's like, yeah, sure, I'll go hit up Paris. Why not? And he came back with it. He came back with the number.
Absolutely mental. Like, holy shit.
Dude, and the idea that the party got broken up because the neighbors called the cops. Like, I thought that happened to us. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that happened to just neighborhood idiots. I didn't know it happened to A-list Hollywood socialites. I didn't know that.
Christ.
Apparently. But yeah, another story, if people want to click on that. I mean, yeah.
Definitely worth the watch. 100%.
Oh, they're 100% all worth the watch, man. Your content is so funny.
Like, it's like this little diamond we just came across. Like, we just found this thing. I just want to spread it to everyone we can find.
Like, holy shit! Listen to these.
We just stumbled upon gold. And we're gonna tell everyone. Like, your YouTube channel is a gem.
You know what? Thank God. I don't want to find out this didn't record, because this is making me feel. I'm gonna play this with my girlfriend later. This is great. You guys are making me feel like $1 million.
Well, we feel like $1 million having you on.
So you guys are great, man. Yeah, it really does. Because like the weird thing is that like time flies, and sometimes like I sat on these stories forever and ever, doing like jobs that I fucking hate, jobs that suck. And you're at work and you're surrounded by morons, and you're like, man, like, how come I'm really doing what these fools are all doing? Like, they don't know who I am, like I could fuck them up over one story and a beer. I could have these people like quit this job and leave their wives if they heard what I had to say, but you don't know how to get it out and do something with it. So, I'm trying to now. I'm trying to see if I can just give people something to listen to and, something exciting. Fuck, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Have a good time, and
you definitely need to keep going with that, because like everyone who's ever been to a party knows that one person who has just the fucking craziest stories. And you are that guy times 10.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
You guys, you know what? I'm going to put some more stuff out. I might throw something up today. Just getting on camera just makes you want to do it. Yeah. I mean, and I won't even, I'll only give you a tidbit, but you think that tattoo story's crazy. I'll tell you this. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. Just simply put, there's another tattoo of a heart and a girl's name on my ass.
Oh, really?
And that's all I'm going to tell you.
That's all we need to know for now.
Only because I will tell that story, and I will make sure I'll send you the link. I would not deprive you of the full story, but I just will keep it as an appetizer. That yes, that's another one that you will fucking find unusual. Especially considering I only knew her for that day.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Oh, that makes it so
now we're
much
getting hungry.
worse, man.
Now we're
Jesus
getting hungry.
Christ.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Truly incredible.
It's good stuff.
I wanted to ask you about your experience in MTV. You want to tell us a bit about that?
I will. Yeah, I'd be happy to, man. Okay, so that's cool you guys noticed that. I don't even know if I've really talked about that online much, because it was like before things blew up. And actually, I tried to put the episodes on YouTube, but somewhere in there, I don't know if it's the theme song, something trips off copyright issues, and they pull it. But
it's usually music that would trip up.
Yeah, it's always
definitely.
music.
That's good to know. That is good to know. I think I'm actually going to edit it then and cut out the theme and just put up. Cool. So long story short with that is that I went to a party. Yeah, you'll dig this shit. You'll dig this. I went to a house party in Hollywood, right? It's my buddy's party. This is, years ago. I don't know, 15 years ago. I go to this party and I get fucking wrecked, like sideways. But I'm not like usually once in a while it goes south, but usually I'm a pretty coherent wreck. I'm like making my rounds and I try to make the party more fun. You know what I mean? I like to chat. I like to meet and see what's going on. So I'm making my rounds. I'm having a great time. This is how good of a time I had.
Oh, jeez. You have to announce how good this shit is.
Just wait. I'm informed that there's a conversation which happened outside of my presence after the party. And this conversation occurred in this way. There was a car with 4 girls in it. The driver starts talking about how crazy the party was and says something about that crazy guy, Paul. Yeah. So the girl sitting shotgun says, "Oh my God, yeah, that guy was nuts. I definitely made out with him at the party." To which the follow another girl in the back seat says, "Oh my God, are you serious? So did I." And then came the awkwardness. And then came when the third girl said, wait, seriously? I sucked his dick in the back.
Jesus. Wow. Fucking fucking amazing.
Oh my God.
Now, I swear to God that conversation happened because the first girl, the driver who began that conversation, not having any idea where it was about to go, was a producer for MTV.
Oh my God.
And at that point decided that I was crazy enough that I needed to be on this new show that they were trying to have.
That is the best fucking cast calling fucking ever.
Wow.
What a fucking
So you work at MTV and you have your 3 friends in the car. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. Bring him in.
That's the guy. Yeah. She's like, that guy, we need personality. We need someone who's a little nuts. I think that's the guy. And so, yeah, so I swear to you, none of those girls were wrong either. They were right. That was the same guy. I kind of made some rounds. I don't know. Yeah, a few drinks, making out's fun. Other things are too. But so I get this invite. My buddy calls me the next day, the kid who threw the party. He's like, "Hey, listen, this girl at the party, she's a producer on the show MTV, Yo Mama. She wants you to try out for the show." And I was like, wow, damn. I had seen casting notices online, and I was like, fuck that. That sounds dumb. Like Yo Mama jokes. I wasn't doing a lot of comedy then, but I was writing some. And I was like, my shit is above a Yo Mama joke. That's fucking garbage. But if you're going to call me and ask me personally to be, of course I'll show up. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's flattering as hell. So I had gotten, I think I'd had like a car accident or something at the time, and I had some really loopy pills. Like I was getting fucked up. And so I shoot over to the audition, and I'm a little in the bag a bit. I'm kind of fucked up on these pills. And the audition, you sit in the waiting room and you fill out like 9 pages of questions, and like so many questions. And I'm like, dude, I'm here for a comedy show. I just start putting weird answers. Like, what's your favorite thing? I'm like fucking collecting guns in my basement and shit. Just whatever. Just anything. You know what I mean? Just off the wall answers. Like, you're not going to know who I am. You're going to know who this character is that I'm making up. And so we go in, and the casting guy starts going through everybody's things, and he got pissed. He's like, "You guys, I got to be honest with you. Do you know what this is? This is a trash talking show." He's like, we need excitement. Like, I'm reading through these pages. I'm reading through. This is all, this is where I'm from. This is where I went to school. He's like, "This guy. All right, this guy gets it. I like to, guns in my basement." And who was that? And I was like, right here. He goes, you get it. I knew it was you. I could already tell it was you. You get it. The rest of you need to figure out what the fuck this guy's talking about. And I was like, oh, shit. So then, and I'm like, right on, so there we go. And then it gets really awkward. You got to stand face to face with some other dude, like 3 feet away. This black kid. I'm like, man, this feels awkward. I'm like a white guy talking shit to some black. I don't know. Plus, like, he just seemed like more hip than me or something. I don't know. Like, I thought I was gonna get fucking roasted, but I just went gunfire, just machine gun. Your shoes are dumb, your shirt's fucking retarded, all that shit. And they're like, oh, wow. Like, I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. So, and that was before they validated my my application by saying I was the only one who was incoherent enough to be right. So I go home thinking that was an experience. That was weird. And then nothing. What the fuck? Really? I thought that went pretty well. I've been on a few auditions. You called me, like you're not even gonna let me be on the show at all. What the fuck? And then a month and a half later, I get a call, and it's MTV, and they said, "Hey, Paul, listen, we really, we're from Yo Mama. We want to apologize first for not calling sooner." I said, "Okay," and they said, "Look, here's the thing. You're 26, and our demographic for the show is 18 to 24. We really don't want to have anyone over 24 on the show, but we looked at everyone who came through, and it's not. We think you could win this whole thing. We kind of need you." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was outside. I remember where I was. I was walking down the street from my apartment, and they're like, "Who cares about your age? We don't. Just do you want to do it? You want to be on the show?" I was like, "Done. Give me the address and date. I can't wait." And and then I ended up going on this show. Wilmer Valderrama hated me. Kid sucks. That kid sucks. I never even liked that 70s show. I don't know. I like good TV, I guess, if I'm going to watch any. Doesn't qualify. But he got mad because he was dating this pretty hot girl who was in some movie at the time. And I was talking to her over by craft services. And he saw that and he came running over. Like, I'm going to scoop his chick. Dude, the fucking guy rolls up to the episode of the show in a black Aston Martin DB9. You think I'm going to fucking squeeze your chick? As we've described, I drove a shit Nissan, all right? Like, it's his show. What are the chances here? I mean, I was confident as the next guy, and I mean, hey, if it's just based on who we're talking to, sure, I'll do just fine. But I'm on the set of his show.
Sorry, that's the sexy car. I gotta say that real quick.
No. That shit was badass. He came zipping in. You can hear the muffled exhaust. I'm like, yeah, right. So anyway, he didn't like me, and I stole his show. I fucked his shit up so hard. I hit his show so hard that after I got past the first episode, I got the best of my episode, whatever. That was on like a basketball court. Then we're in a parking lot for a couple days shooting the second episode, the best of the week or whatever. And I hit this other girl. I hate it. It sounds weird. I hit this girl. With words. I turned out this chick so hard that earlier in the episode, the celebrity guest was Mike Jones, right? I don't know if you guys you get a little young with Mike Jones. He was a rapper for like 2 seconds in the early 2000s. So when he came out, they had rehearsed with us. We had to put our arms up. Mike Jones, who? Mike Jones, who? Out of nowhere, I rocked this girl so hard with comebacks that she had an audience of people behind her. I had an audience of people behind me. Those are our, fucking gangs and shit. I see 2 girls behind her hear me and get so into what I just said of an insult on this chick that they look at each other and start lifting their arms and they go, "Paul, who? Paul, who?" And then her whole crowd starts cheering my name. My guys see that. They start cheering my name.
Jesus.
The fucking show stops. The producers have to stop the show. It's pandemonium. You can't continue this. It makes sense on TV. And the Yo Mama jokes are done. It's paused because it's fucking outlandish. Wilmer gets pissed, grabs his co-host, goes, yo, those are her people. We're out of here. And he runs off set because it's his fucking show, and he's pissed. He's a little bitch. And I own the show. I own the goddamn show. There's a fucking camera on a rolling boom, 15, 20 feet up in the air. The director's sitting up there. Cut! And I start throwing my hands up like, fuck yeah, fuck, like that. Because I'm just loving the moment. Like, when else are you going to have this? And it's nuts. It's crazy. There's probably three more, I don't know, maybe three more jokes left in the entire episode to shoot. Things chill out, and we're done. And then Wilmer's going to announce the winner. Well, we go to walk off. I'm still so caught up in how ridiculous that was that they're telling me that they want to start shooting again. I'm looking away, and the director's way up on that high boom, and he's like, Paul, look up, Paul. And I'm just like in space. I'm like, yo, I can't believe this shit. All I see was share my name. It's crazy, you know? And I'm just living in that moment. I'm in my own world, and I don't hear him at all yelling, Paul! And finally, the third time, he yells my name, and I look up, and now the crowd starts to laugh because I wasn't paying attention. I'm like that kid in class, you know, like not listening to the teacher. So quick on my feet, I just turn. I go, oh, no, I heard. I just didn't want to look at her.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
A moment later, we go to walk off set with the understanding they're going to shortly announce the winner. The girl's mad at me. She's actually mad at me, and she goes, you know you're going to win. You didn't have to be a dick like that and say you didn't want to look at me. I go, wait, hold on. First off, we don't know who's going to win. I'm trying to be diplomatic, polite. We don't know. But then I'm also like, besides, we've been shitting on each other's moms, clothes, bodies, faces all night. And that's what got you mad. Like, what the fuck? We were on. Anyway, all right. I said, look, honestly, if you're offended, I apologize. I didn't. I'm just playing around. I don't know. I'm just playing. But anyway, best of luck to both of us. Fucking Wilmer comes back and announces her the winner. That son of a bitch. And he did it, I think, because I stole his goddamn show 20 minutes before. And I'll take it. I don't give a shit. I'd rather have what happened in real life off with the camera off than getting the win on there. But yeah, that's some behind the scenes on. It was ridiculous. It was a silly show.
Fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. I digress. I hope I didn't just run off there for a little bit. But
no, man, that was perfect.
I was actually wondering. So you do stand up. I was wondering, do you have any idols or kind of stand up comedians that you like?
Yeah. Well, I always joke and say, "Fucking me, dude." I just told you. What do you think is my favorite? Me. Why would I be doing this? That's my asshole kidding joke. It's like asking Henry Ford what his favorite car company is. Mine. No. But Ricky Gervais.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. That guy's a fucking gem.
He's a legend.
I think I know who he is.
Ricky Gervais, Jared.
No, I say just get the picture up. I think I know who he is.
Yeah, guy who's like,
How could you fucking not know?
Oh
who
yeah, that
Ricky
guy.
Gervais.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That guy.
What a sacrilege. That guy. He was a bus driver who
is that he fucking does it every year, and he just fucking rips into people that are in the audience.
He doesn't care. He gives
He
zero.
just does not give a fuck.
A legend of a man, a beast of a man.
Yeah. And he's like one of those guys, like, you ever just wonder if you were like, man, what if I just went on impulse? Didn't overthink life. Like, I feel like he just runs that path. Like, he's That guy, it's pure. It's not a character. It's not a shtick. It's not some carrot top pulling fucking stuff things out of a box. I think Ricky's for real. I think that's what's beautiful about him. The guy presents exactly how he sees life. And my favorite part might be how hard he laughs at his own shit. Like, he cracks himself up. Love it. Not like a Jimmy Fallon, like some bullshit, contrived laugh at his. Get the fuck out of here. But Rick. Oh wait, is Fallon like a local boy? Is that
Oh God, no, we know Fallon, yeah, but I'm not a fan of Fallon. I think he's very
you only kind of watch clips on YouTube.
Fallon is very scripted and very, I don't know, unoriginal kind of thing. I'm pretty sure he has like a team of writers. They all do. All late night hosts do though. So, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Gervais is the opposite of that. 100%. He's on his own fling. Like, that guy, he'll talk about religion. He'll talk about Bruce Jenner. Oh, did I say those two words together? Bruce and Jenner. I know it's supposed to be, Caitlyn, whatever, but doesn't care. Doesn't care because he's telling you what he thinks. And that guy, he'll stand by it. I love it. What do you guys think of Larry David?
Larry David. Wow. Fucking comic gold.
Right?
Curb Your Enthusiasm, that shit is the madness.
I don't know why, but I've watched like 50 of those videos. Has just become
fucking massive now.
What's that?
Curb Your Enthusiasm has just, not even just the show, like, just even the outro music with his name and all in it has become such a meme.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Dude, yeah, like, everybody knows what is it, something Weed, Bill Weed, or whatever the fuck, like, everybody knows, because that's the first name that comes up, and people tie it to a meme. Oh, my God. Dude, when he had I think my favorite was when he was dating two girls in wheelchairs on the same episode. Did you ever see that one?
No.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Dude. I don't like. I almost don't want to reference it now because you have to like see it today. I won't even give away the beauty. There's a part that like, fuck. What the fuck? What are you talking about, this guy? It's amazing. And he's using both of them. Just to be clear, he's not like dating two. He's using both of them. And that sounds like the worst person you've ever met. But Larry David does it in a way where you're like, oh, it's Larry. It's not, it's not really that bad. It's just a circumstance. He needed a chick in a wheelchair, and then he needed another one. And I don't know. Who do you guys like? Who do you guys like for comics?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Jimmy Carr and Frankie Boyle. I will watch their stuff for. Have you not heard of Frankie Boyle?
I'm going to look into Frankie Boyle.
Frankie Boyle, he's the funniest Scottish comedian I have ever. He's kind of like Ricky Gervais. He won't give a shit. He has made so many offensive jokes. And if you want a really good show to watch, have you ever heard of Mock the Week?
No.
Mock the Week. It's like
I'll find both, or
it's like a news kind of comedy thing where all these big comedians all come together every week, and they do kind of like, if this is the question or this is the answer, what's the question? They'll do scenes you'd like to see. So one of the things maybe like questions you'll never see on a test or something, and these comedians will have to come up with really quick, quirky kind of one-liners every week, and it's the funniest shit ever, man.
I'll have to check it out.
It's a bit like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Have you heard of that with like Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles, man? Those guys are fucking
way back
legends.
In the day.
Yeah, those guys are fucking legends, man.
I'll check. I'm glad to know. See, this helps me because I saw. I'm new to Jimmy Carr. I'm halfway through one of his specials, and he's a different character. Yeah, he's different, huh?
Yeah, he's a bit of he's a legend.
Yeah,
legend of a man.
He laughs on the inhale. How the fuck do you even do that? You laugh on the inhale. Oh my god! What a psycho!
Yeah, recently now, I'd often watch maybe like Joe Rogan clips or stuff like that. But recently, I've been watching Bill Burr clips on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Oh
I'm
my
so
god!
glad you've discovered Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is so fucking funny. Like I knew he was before, but I'd never really seen anything. And I watched a video. I think it's called it's like Kids, Dogs, and a Prius. And oh my god, it is. I've told you. All right, so pretty much like the thing is, so this is from a few years ago now, like when he still had hair, and yeah, just to get that out there. But he's like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about having a kid, and then he's just like, I think I'd be able for it, and then the other part of me thinks that everyone in the audience who has kids right now is like, dude, you have no idea how stressful it is to have a kid. And it's like, oh, well, I've got a dog. I mean, it can't be that different. Dude, you can't even fucking compare it to a dog. I just did, and I'll do it again. Like,
oh yeah, that guy, he's a legend.
The accent fucking makes it as well. Oh my god.
I love your accent doing his accent. That was fucking righteous, dude.
Dude, you can't even compare it to a dog. I just did, and I'll do it again. Yours has 2 legs. Mine has 4. Yours bites someone, it gets put in timeout. Mine bites someone, it gets put down. See, the stakes, the higher.
I hope one day that Bill Burr hears an Irish version of his Boston accent. He can't die not hearing that. Of all the things he's done in his life, that's got to be in his list. You nailed it.
Thank you so
much. For me, when it comes to comedians, I'll be very happy to say I'll be having all mine on the show. I have 2 favorite groups. Are 3 Books Left. They were on already. Brilliant lads from the Hardy Books TV show. I gotta look them up.
I saw them on your list. I went through on your YouTube. I gotta look them up.
Oh yeah, there.
And then after that, it's Owen Colgan, and he's on tomorrow.
Owen Colgan. You know, so legend. Can I message you guys after the show to get these? Because you said Jimmy Boyle,
Jimmy Carr, Carr, and then Frankie Boyle. Yeah.
Yes, I'll message you to get these because I want to look them up. And
Frankie Boyle is he's gotten, and you know, he's the kind of guy that he's gotten in trouble for so many jokes as well.
Even better.
No, I know it's better. Yeah, it makes it funnier.
There's a real difference with him with a beard and without a beard.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to stand.
Yeah, one can't go near schools. He should keep the beard. He's less creepy with a beard.
That's him today now, and when he was much younger, he kind of looked like this. Yeah, that would have been years ago now. That clip there, that's him on Mock the Week. Just really fun.
Dude, this is great. And I didn't mean to cut off the guy. You said you're having Calkin. What's his name tomorrow?
There's another guy. Colgan.
Yeah, I love hearing about new comics because I hate most comics. I'll be honest with you. I think I really do. I think that comedy, as much as it's all laughy, jokey and shit, there's got to be precision. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be done. And I say I hate most comics. I don't mean most comics you would have heard of. By the time they're at that level, they've figured something out. But even many people who are big names, I'll just listen and I'm like, dude, you're just here to do it. You know, like, because you know the formula kinda, or like you have a certain look. If you know, like I like intellectual. I like for it to. I want to chew on that shit. You know, I want to really. I want it to be coherent thought. You know.
There's one stand-up comedian now, and she's also a massive Hollywood actress, and I do not like her at all.
Oh, don't even
Here comes fucking
say the name.
I really do not like Amy Schumer at all. I can't stand her.
Oh, is that a secret?
Oh no, it's not a secret at all. It's I have a twin. It's twin to my Twitter that I do not like her. It's my twin tweet.
Oh, yeah, it's like our top tweet on our account
podcast
is like
it's like tweet. Just the name, Amy Schumer.
You know,
like Amy Schumer at all. Can't stand her. She makes every movie I've ever watched unfunny, and she steals a lot of like. Have you ever seen those clips online of her? You'll have like someone like Bill Burr, I think actually. They said like a really funny joke, and then 2 seconds later, Amy Schumer had like a Netflix special where she repeated the exact same joke in the exact same way.
There's nothing worse than that.
No.
Dude, years ago, I went to the Comedy Store. I didn't know you could like hang out if you're a comic. You can kind of like hang out there, and I had just learned this. And I went, I think it was like maybe twice, but once for sure. And there was a really funny guy named Ian Edwards. Ian Edwards is a great comic. You should check him out. And I met him on the set of Yo Mama. He was like a joke writer for the show. Like he'd come see you before you go on, listen to what you have. And if you were struggling, need a little help, whatever, he would throw you some ideas. So I see him get on and tell this hilarious joke about shark attacks. No one gets attacked by a shark. You were in a shark's living room by swimming in the ocean. You know, you got bit by a shark. But it's actually his material that you should just listen to. It's really good. It's a very funny joke. And I saw him do it live. Days later, Carlos Mencia did that shit on his show, The Mind of Mencia. And I'm walking out the door, and I hear there's no mistake. It is not similar. It is the joke. And I was like, son of a bitch, I just heard that Mencia is a joke thief. And sure enough, he fucking stole this guy's joke, Ian's joke. And that's right around the time when Rogan outed him on stage. And I'm sure you guys heard about that years ago.
No. Who outed him? Oh. Who outed him on stage?
Wait,
you got to check this out. So do you guys listen to the Joe Rogan pod at all?
Yeah, we love Joe Rogan, man. He's an
inspiration. Only within the last year, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? I'm 2 years in. I think he's 7 years deep on the pod. I'm like 2 in. So, yeah, you got to look it up. It was this whole big controversy. Joe Rogan, he runs the store now. Like that guy, he is like the central vein of that store, and it's amazing. Years ago, he got pissed off because this guy, Carlos Mencia, had a TV show called Mind of Mencia, and he was a joke thief. And Joe Rogan got so sick of seeing this guy steal people's jokes that finally Joe Rogan got up on stage, called him out. You'll watch this. And he said, you know, what the fuck? And he called some like young skinny kid up on stage and was like, he stole your joke, didn't he? And the kid was like afraid to say it, something like that. And Joe's like, fine, you won't say it, I will. You stole this fucking kid's joke. You know, that this is bullshit. This isn't comedy. That's not how you operate. And what happened was, at the time, if I'm correct, I could be butchering this a little bit, but I know the outcome is correct. I think because Mencia had a big show on Comedy Central, Rogan got the boot. And it was really terrible. Like Rogan left the store. He wasn't going back. And so once in a while, you'll hear him talk about this period of time for several years where he wasn't at the store. And then finally some management change happened, this and that, some of that effect. You got to check out the full details. I could be wrong. But basically, yeah, Rogan called that guy out for joke thieving. And it's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
I'm definitely gonna watch that now after this podcast. I'm definitely gonna. There's like a 30-minute thing there.
100%, yeah.
You'll see
what got me about that story was the thing with the kid, like not being able to admit, he stole
that's horrible.
my joke.
He was terrified. He was like, you'll see it because that's where I saw it as well. He's like just like a college kid. You know what I mean? Like young, like skinny, like physically kind of like not imposing physical character, and certainly not of a mindset to go telling a guy who's got a primetime Comedy Central TV show running right now, hey, I'm a little weirded out that you stole my joke. It's never going to happen. It's not going to say anything. So Rogan did. And yeah, it's wild. Yeah, you guys will see all about it.
As a legend.
And obviously that took a lot of confidence. And just from reading up on you're a men's dating coach, aren't you?
I am.
Oh. So you obviously that pause scared the shit out of me. That pause scared the shit out of me. Yeah. Yeah.
As it should. I'm very good at
it. So obviously you're dealing with people's confidence a lot. So
give us
a bit of insight into that if you don't mind.
Yeah, I actually have a website. It's called confidencefound.com. And I'm not doing a ton with it at this time. It didn't start as something that was really supposed to be its own living, breathing thing. It just started I would have coworkers, guys I worked with, and best way to put it in a shell. So like, I didn't have girlfriends in my 20s. I only dated. I was a late bloomer. I graduated high school a virgin. I just didn't get it. I didn't get girls. I didn't have confidence. I was a chatty guy. I got most talkative. But I talk to learn, you know, like I'm trying to pick stuff up because I want to be better at life, you know? So as time went on, it occurred to me, you know, like I wasn't having luck with girls, and then I would just talk to more girls. And then I know every 10 no's, 1 yes, and then every 8 no's, 1 yes, and then 2 to 1, and then 1 to 1, and then more yeses than no's. So I learned how to communicate with people, how to communicate with girls, what makes for value in dating. And as time went on, I started to finally have relationships, and yet I would hear coworkers struggle with things that to me, it was simple math. It's like seeing a math equation on the board, and I'm like, yeah, the answer is 6. I see it. I don't know how you don't. Are you fucking, okay, all right, I'll just do it for you. And so I remember this one guy that I worked with was struggling. This girl had broken up with him. And I said, he was all upset, and he asked me for help. And I said, all right, so we go outside, and I'm telling him what to text. We're on the steps of a church in New York City. And I'm telling him what to text. And he's like, wow, this is really crazy. She's really talking a lot. I said, yeah, because we're saying the right things. And then after a while, I said, all right, this is taking too long. Just, can I have your phone? You stand right there. I won't press send unless you say it's okay, but I'm just going to do this, right? And he's like, yeah, sure. And within 10, 15 minutes, I said, all right, you're taking her to dinner tonight at P.F. Chang's down the street from your apartment. You're back together. And he's like, unfucking-believable. Like, just, he couldn't believe it. And then the word got out, and I started doing this for more buddies and different guys. And then this other kid came to me, and he was a client of mine from real estate. And I liked him already. We're both from New Hampshire, and we met in New York. So we kind of had a little bond. And he calls me up early in the morning, 10 a.m., 10:30 in the morning, saying he's on the verge of tears. You know, I'm not going to say this man was crying, but he was fucked up. And he says, you got to help me out. This girl just broke up with me. It's right after Christmas. And he's like, yeah, she basically broke up with me over Christmas. I just got back. I'm all fucked up. I said, all right, there's a bar down the street. Irish bar, great bar. What was the name of it? What's the name of the bar, hon?
Hey.
The fucking bar. I told you.
What do you mean you don't know about the bar?
She doesn't know about the bar. I told her about this bar when we met. She went with another fucking guy.
Oh.
Yeah, Peter McManus. Yeah, because I met her through work. She was a real estate client, and she didn't know we were going to date. She thought I was just cool telling her about a cool pub. She goes with this fucking clown, and then we end up dating, and I take her there, and she's like, yeah, I've been here before. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you've been here before? I was supposed to take you. She's like, I didn't know you were gonna. I said, God damn it. Anyway, so I tell this kid to meet me at Peter McManus on 7th and 18th. Like literally 11 a.m. This is early. It could have been 10:30, whatever time they're open. I don't know. So we go there, and he lays it on me. He fucked up, and this girl, you know, he didn't fuck up by being a jerk. He was too sweet. I won't get into this whole thing, but he was way too sweet, way too sweet. Good Lord, you puke with as much sugar and sap and oh God, and that's what she did. That's why she booted him. I said, all right, relax. Come to the right place. We've got the right guy. Everything's going to be fine. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I know you don't know. It doesn't seem reasonable from where you are. You watch this. So for the next 2 weeks, he would text. She didn't even want him. She didn't want to go get her clothes from his apartment. She wanted him to bring her clothes to her parents' house in Jersey from New York, because no one has a car. You got to ride on 2-3 different trains to get there. She wanted him to bring her clothes to her parents' house in Jersey and make sure it's a time when she's not there.
Jesus.
Right? What a bitch. Like under the thumb, dude. Like this kid. Done. Spent. Wrecked. If it were an arm wrestling contest, he'd be like this. You know what I mean? Knuckles almost touching. I said, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you what to say in texts, and then you're going to tell me what she says back, and then I'll tell you what to say next. This goes on for 2 weeks. My girlfriend actually got in on some of these. I mean, she's brilliant as well. So anyway, 2 weeks later, this girl posts on her Instagram a picture of the two of them out. I think they were on like the Brooklyn Bridge. And her caption was how excited she was to earn a second chance with him.
Christ.
Ooh.
And her hashtag was getting my box back. Now, that doesn't mean box like that. What she meant was the box of clothes, because there was a box where she would keep her clothes under his bed when she visited. She was excited to have a second chance with him. And I've done that many times. I've done it a lot. I've done it with a lot of guys. So
when this is all over, we're going to get you Dara's phone number.
Man, shut up.
Dude, it's formulaic. I actually put together, my girlfriend helped me with this as well. She's very good with PowerPoint. I applied for a job as an educator where I had to create my own 40-minute educational presentation on my own topic, even though the job would be delivering their topics. It was like a corporate educator thing. So I did it on dating. So I actually have a 40-minute PowerPoint on how to build confidence and the simple formulas and how to see it. And it's simple. It's simple. It takes work. It's not like a get rich quick. Like, it takes work, but the formula, oh yeah, I can teach you how to see it in a way where you're like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. What's up?
And did
If
being a comedian,
you
like,
say anything, I'll fucking murder you.
I wasn't gonna say anything. No, oh.
No, you don't worry.
Does being
Just
a
tell me if
comedian
if you say
help you with
anything,
your
I'll fucking
confidence?
kill you.
So, it's actually the other way around. Well, that's a really good question. So, all right, so comedy came because I grew up without confidence. None. Dude, poor, so poor. I'll get into how poor. But poor, fat, very fat boy growing up, stuttered like a broken record. Couldn't get words out. Just a fucking mess.
Same here.
And,
Same here. The worst
Really?
feeling in the world. And
horrible.
people like talk over you because they don't understand what you're trying to say.
They tell you to, oh, just take your time, slow down. No, don't say anything.
That's gonna make you feel like shit.
Oh, it's so that, and then I was really tall, which doesn't sound bad, but I was really tall, so I stood out like visually, like you couldn't miss me. So I was very tall and very fat, so I was very visible to the eye, and then this stutter, you couldn't miss me audibly, and I always had something to say. So I mean, really putting myself out there. Yeah, I was vegetarian until I was 12. My parents raised me. I'd never eaten meat. You know how weird that is to tell kids in like the 80s what a vegetarian is? They're all eating burgers and they're like, yeah, I'll just have a fucking bun with mayonnaise and shit. They're like, it's so, I got ripped on. Dude, I played Little League for 2 years. I batted 0. I don't know. I had 0.
We don't have Little League over here. We have no idea what that one means. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Little League is
baseball.
right?
Oh, it's baseball. Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kids baseball. Ages
How
like
did
9.
you get that from he batted 0? How did you not get that?
We don't even have baseball over here.
Could be like a dating reference. He's batting 0. This guy's not getting anything. But yeah, it was baseball. So I was behind the 8 ball. I didn't, I had no confidence because where the fuck would I have drawn it from, And so it sucked. It sucked pretty bad. I got in fights all the time, like I picked on. So I had to figure shit out on my own. I had to really build what confidence would come to be later. And part of the way I did that was with humor. Because like I said, I loved comedy. I'd love to get home, hear the jokes on TV, realize the intellect because I was a pretty smart kid, which made it worse because you really internalize the frustrations. It's like you ruminate on that shit. So in time, I just discovered, as directly related to your question, that jokes, if I'm running the joke, then I'm in control. Like I can divert from making fun of me, which I was used to happening, if I lead the jokes. And I don't like self-deprecation. Fuck that. But I would make better jokes about other things in the area, things that are going on. So that's how I got to really appreciate how comedy could help confidence, because I became very quick. And I knew that I learned how to write effective jokes just for social value. And so that did help my confidence. But as time goes on later, you start to find there's this thing called stage fright and nerves on stage, and that's kind of weird. And you might not act like you when you're up there trying to tell a joke that killed last night at a party or a bar, but now you act like a different person on stage because you're overthinking it. Oh my God, I'm on stage, everyone's looking at me, there's a light, I have a mic, the fuck if I don't do this well, then people think I'm a hack, like, so then you've got to turn the same confidence formula that you built for regular life into comedy. And that's, I literally, not that long ago, as I got more serious about comedy, I started to realize the formulas that I were using for dating, it would be foolish to abandon them for comedy because they're universal formulas. You can convert them to different platforms. And so I converted that confidence to comedy, and it's very much helped. Now I can, for the most part, be me on stage. I can stay relaxed. I can stay in my right mindset. And for those reasons, deliver, the way I hope to. Jesus, I
did a lot of musical theater as a child, and it definitely, I can agree. Yeah, it gives you loads of confidence speaking in front of this massive crowd. And sure, like it was always dark. You couldn't see them, but you knew that there was someone watching, man. It gives you. It definitely helps. It's a confidence boost, And then I can speak in front of, I think, a crowd of maybe tens of thousands. I wouldn't care really. At the moment, it's all good now.
That's a big crowd, Thomas.
Ah, sure, Jared. Don't worry about it, man.
I feel like when I was a kid, it was much easier because I did the same thing that Thomas did, and when you're a kid, you don't really give a shit. There's not really any kind of backlash off of it. You can't be like, oh fuck, if my friends see this, my social status is gone. So but as you get a bit older, you're like, oh fuck, if someone I know sees this, I'm dead.
Well, and I mean, now you got to even be careful with what you say, PC and that kind of shit.
Exactly,
it's and that's when you kind of have to make some decisions. That like we were talking about a guy like Ricky Gervais doesn't care, does not, and you kind of just have to make that decision, because if you stay vanilla, you may, you look at a guy like Seinfeld. He's probably the wealthiest comedian in the history of earning comedians, not from a trust fund. Like, the guy made his own, but he's not gonna floor you with something where you're like, wow, he pushed an edge. Never.
Man, I don't know, because the B movie really.
Shut up about B movie.
That shit, he really pushed the barriers on that shit, man. A talking bee falling in love with a human woman.
Was Larry David
Larry David is the highest earning comedian.
Holy shit.
After him is Seinfeld, then you have Letterman, and then Bill Cosby.
Oh.
What a sleeper.
Oh my god,
Jesus Christ.
Oh fuck. That was it.
Jesus, man. Oh my god, that's
I was not ready.
Oh man, I had to. It was right there. It was on a tee. It just
the best analogy for anything ever. It was on the tee.
Christ.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
Oh. No, yeah.
Fuck up. Oh. Yeah, there.
Enough said there.
We'll get past that guy.
I'm trying to think of a way to continue after that. Oh, you broke Thomas.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna have to let Thomas fucking breathe.
He is broken. I love it.
Thomas, go get your inhaler.
Breathe into a bag. Oh.
Panic, pure panic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's but yeah, so as far as that stuff goes, I mean, you kind of just have to make a decision, are you gonna cut an edge, or are you gonna, because you don't want to say shit for the sake of just losing it, just, I don't know. Oh man. I'm still laughing about Thomas laughing.
You don't want to go to the point where people are like, oh, the joke you made was shit. It was in poor taste, and we hate you for it. Like if you go to
cancelled.
Yeah, exactly. Because like nowadays,
That's a huge fear of mine.
anything that happens is just fucking instantly. Like, have you seen Tropic Thunder?
Oh yeah, I need to revisit it. I remember when it came out, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing, like, you know, Robert Downey Jr. has done so many things since then. Like, he's fucking Iron Man now. He's Iron Man.
Yeah.
And, fucking, like, he is one of the biggest faces in not even just Disney, but like Marvel and like everywhere. And people only figured out in the last probably 3 or 4 months that he portrayed, well, he didn't even portray a black character in Tropic Thunder. He portrayed an Australian portraying a black character in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, blackface.
People freaked. Everyone was like, oh, we fucking hate Robert Downey Jr. He's over. We're over him. And,
you know, yeah,
it's just fucking crazy.
Well, and I would say then, you know who could be really angry about that would be the people who get mad over retard. Because that's the same movie where they made the point, don't ever go full retard. So if you're going to walk away from that movie only mad about blackface, then you've definitely insulted the retard anger mob. So actually, you know, now you're like prioritizing like, you know, what's PC. People need to chill out. They just,
that is true.
You know, because the thing is, like, even was it Chris Rock who said it's not it's if it's funny and the intent is right, something along those lines. If the joke is funny enough, then there you go. The guy I saw at the coffee shop. Oh, that was Eddie Murphy. Yeah, sorry, it was my girlfriend off the side there. Helped me remember who I saw. Apparently, Eddie Murphy had said on Cars with. You guys ever watch Cars with Cars? Comedians
and Cars getting coffee. Yeah.
Awesome show. And Eddie Murphy was on there, and he was saying that, you know, nothing's really off limits if the joke is good enough. If you're just saying a joke just to make people look, and it's dumb, and people are going to be hurt, then you're an ass. You know, exactly. You're a hack. That's why I was saying I hate so many comics, because people will do that. They just they don't get the art. They don't get the science, if you will, of comedy. They just, they see it as an attention-getting vessel. Yeah. And when that's your only mission, then of course there are no rules. Just get attention. Just fucking set yourself on fire downtown and see if people look. It's like a moron.
Exactly. Yeah.
What the fuck? But if you have something well constructed enough, I'm trying to think if I have something that's twisted. I'm sure I have plenty. My girlfriend just made a face like, Jesus. Like I'm going to post something later. I won't get into the whole thing. There's a short clip I'm going to post probably later on today about, you know, like racism is a huge issue right now, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
We had someone on talk about that recently.
Yeah, well, I mean, with all the protests and the riots, and, you know, especially here in the U.S., there's a ton of that. And so I'm going to be putting up a little. It's not even so much comedy as much as it is like a PSA, but kind of comedy about how you don't look for a cure for racism. You treat it like herpes, and you learn to manage it. Because there is no cure if you really think about it. There's everyone. Actually, here's the topic that I'll say is on the edge. Is that I don't think very many people are racist. I think everybody is a little bit race-ish.
Okay, where are you going?
Race-ish. I've never heard
race-ish. I think everybody's a little bit race-ish, because what it means is that when racism comes out is when you're angry. That's when racism. That's when any ism comes out. So you say you're driving down the street and you're already upset, you're angry, you know, traffic's driving you nuts, and somebody cuts you off, and it happens to be a black guy, then you're going to be like, oh, it's a fucking black guy, just cut me off. God damn it, you know? And here you are somehow tying in the guy's color to it. Whereas if it were a woman and you're angry, you'd be like, it's fucking women drivers, for God's sake, you know? There you go. See how interchangeable it is? Same reaction. It could be a senior citizen.
With anybody. Like, I've been in the car with my dad, and he said I was a guy with a long beard.
There you go. If it's an old person, these fucking seniors should be taken off the road. What are they still driving, you know? Or if it's a kid, they shouldn't be giving licenses to kids. You should be 21. God, you know, like, so whatever it is, when you're angry, you're going to look for the identifier that is most distant from yourself to label as the problem. That's how it works. And so for that reason, that's never going to go away. Never, ever. When you're angry, you're going to point the finger at whatever the greatest distance is, because that implies that the distance on the other end is that you're right. You do get it. You are right. You know how the world works. And if they were more like you, then they wouldn't have created this problem for you. Yeah. And so that's why, you know what
Yeah. If we all looked the exact same, people would still find problems with, like, they'd still find problems like, oh, this guy likes jazz.
It'd be like haircut. It'd be like, oh, come on, you ginger piece of shit.
Which would be valid, you know, because gingers don't have souls, and they are the devil, you know.
There's a lot of ginger people in Ireland, and they get such a hard time.
Yeah, we bully the shit out of them.
Even over there.
We bully the shit out of them. I tell you, man. We
like, well, if they didn't eat souls, their nickname
they didn't eat souls.
What the fuck? It's an easy solution. Stop eating souls, and you know people will probably treat you normal. That's on them. That's on them. In honesty, that's on them. They should get together on it. But yeah, like it's never gonna go away. You know, like it's not
gonna just fucking slam their phone into the ground.
Oh, put the soul right down. Pull it out of your mouth. Spit it out.
They smashed their phone on the ground and then just ate the soul of the nearest person to them.
Exactly. Exactly. Stop eating souls. What, should I stop breathing too? You fucking asshole. You do it. You stop breathing and I'll stop eating souls.
Yeah, but like even with that, like with the whole ism thing, like, again, yeah, you're not going to get a cure for ism because the fucking Klan is still out there as well.
The
like,
what?
The KKK are still out there. They're not going to just stop. They're not going to be like, oh, wow, racism bad, and then just fucking stop being racist.
Well, and that's actually happened a lot. Like, members, like, leave it like, wait, what the fuck am I doing?
Have you seen that, there's a musician, lad. Mm-hmm. There's a black musician. Yeah. He's like a jazz musician, and he converts people from the KKK.
Yeah,
I've heard of that guy as well. Actually,
it's fucking incredible.
He was on Joe Rogan a few months ago.
Yeah, and he collects their robes.
They give them to him voluntarily.
Yeah, like, and I think he has it in a museum or something like that. He has all these robes up in a museum, and it's like, Jesus, this man is all powerful.
Dude, it's unbelievable. And when it all started, that first guy had never had a drink with a black guy. What are you doing in the Klan? You've never even met a black guy, and you decide you're going to devote your life to hating them? You're a fucking naive.
Mm. And it's not that's just like he's just like it's not that he just walks up to them and he's like, "Fuck you, you're racist. Get out of the Klan." Yeah, he's just like, "Oh man, no, come on. We'll have a talk. We'll have a drink. And just talk this through." And fucking, of course, he can't convert everyone, but the amount of people that he has. Amazing. Absolutely mental.
Yeah. Oh, it's unreal. It's well, you know, I think that a lot of times what happens is when people get to that level, it is very blind hate. Like they don't even know why. You know, like that one guy never even met a black guy. I think a lot of that has to do with people are scared. People are scared. When you see like a trend take off online or even like a fashion style, it doesn't even look normal. Like, you know, people want to be a part of the group. Nobody wants to stray from the group. And people who don't have their own personal individual confidence or identity, just, hey, whatever these guys are saying, I'm in because I don't want to starve tonight. That's it. You know? And I think that's where that comes from because a lot, I mean, Christ, I don't see many people in high intellectual ability being members of a clan. You know, these are nervous people. They're scared.
Yeah. Like,
I'm.
Yeah. No, go on.
I was saying, I'm not by any means giving them an out. Like,
Of course, yeah.
Still, you need to get a fucking grip, you know. But like, you know,
it's the worst thing you could be.
Oh yeah.
It's horrible. And
Well,
when you think about it, like, I've actually considered that it, in a sense, you can understand why somebody would wish it would work. Because imagine of all the people in the world who are assholes, if you could identify them from across the street just with your eyes, well, that would be great. Sure. You know, in a perfect fucking world, everybody just had the word asshole on their shirt if they were a jerk. And if they didn't, then they were great. Cool. Life would be so much easier. But it doesn't, that's the problem. It doesn't work. It doesn't.
Everyone's an asshole.
Everyone's an asshole from time to time, man.
You know, and my whole thing, I can't even say it these days because it's a little too hot right now, but later on things cool a little bit, is that, like, you know, from a dark perspective, joke wise, so I'm not racist, but it doesn't mean I'm a great guy. Because the way I put it is like this, it would be foolish for me to be racist because I know I can't judge people, you know, just at skin. Like, what is that? Is judging by their shoes. I don't know anything about the guy. But also because there aren't enough cool people in the world to cut off entire, you know, races of cool people. Like, I think if I hated the population of black people in the U.S. is about 13% of the U.S. And if I were the hardest, like a Klansman, and I hated all blacks, then that would be 13% of society who I hate. I think that's child's play. Honestly,
it's so stupid.
But what I'm saying though, hear me out, is that I think I hate like 94% of society. I think I do. I fucking hate everybody, dude. Like, I don't like anyone. Like, you three all sound great. You know how freak that is to meet 3 people in a day you like? That's like, I'm not going to meet one I like for 4 months. So the idea that you fucking hate 13% of society is child's play. That's for kids. I hate way more than that, but I just don't base it on your skin. That would be absurd. All you have to do is when I'm fucking going into a store and I hold the door a little bit longer because you're coming in behind me and you just don't even glance up with your eye. You don't have to say thank you. You don't even glance and stroll right by. Fucking hate you. I hate you. I don't care. White, black, man, woman. I don't care. Fuck you, dude. I let you into traffic. You know, I know traffic's thick. You're trying to come out of a parking lot and I give you a go and I give you, you know, just a little wave from the wheel and you just keep going like I'm not even there. You're gone. Hate.
yeah.
Hate.
I think everyone has that mentality. Everyone only likes
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 people.
If you do something for someone and then they just don't acknowledge it whatsoever, of course they're gonna be like, right, fuck you, man.
Fuck you. It has nothing to do. If he happens to be black, fine, but it's not because he's black. You know, like,
because he's an asshole.
Because he's an
Because he
asshole.
fucking cut you off in traffic. What a dick.
Oh, I'm an equal opportunity hater. Anybody. I don't discriminate at all. In fact, it'd be a disservice to pretend that, like, you know, in these sensitive times, like, I like all black people because I'm like a guilty white guy. No. One-on-one. I give you the same chance as anyone else. You don't give the wave, you're fucking out. That's it.
Don't give the way.
You're out. It's very simple.
It's fucking amazing.
Things would make a lot more sense.
And that's the thing, though. We all just should be a bit nicer to one another, you know? Like you said it earlier, and I also know it with Reddit, man. Reddit is so brutal, and Jared knows this as well. People are assholes.
Oh, I know it all too well.
What did we post about the other day? And someone was like, "Nope, fuck you."
We did a podcast on we're planning to do a bit of backpacking, right, from Portugal to Greece.
Shit.
Yeah, awesome, right? So
Little the Greece these kids are going to backpack on.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about later on. Yeah.
We put into this subreddit. We said, oh yeah, we'd love to talk to someone who's had like vast experience in backpacking and maybe talk to us about it. You know, give us some advice. And this guy just commented and go, no, fuck that. You don't do anything in this subreddit, right? This is the first post you made.
Yeah, but it's like
Fuck
literally,
yourself.
this guy was literally like, oh yeah, you're not taking this seriously enough. Like, you need to be fucking, you need to breathe, you need to eat, you need to shit backpacking, all right? Get the fuck out of here, normie. And we were like,
Stop being so
okay.
childish. Stop being so childish is what I was.
We were like, what the fuck?
So what I did after this, because I got angry because I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? We asked a normal question in a group about these kind of questions. And I hopped into my Reddit and I fucking slated this guy. And then it was so goddamn bad that Thomas took down the post.
It's horrible.
Damn, you had to take it down at like.
Yeah.
He changed his name to like Michael or some shit.
George.
He changed his name.
He was like, "Fuck you, dude."
No, George changed
No,
his name.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, so you could get down and dirty, so you can roll up the
So we
sleeves
could
and
do
just.
it anonymously.
Our
To be a bit
podcast
more
is
anonymous,
getting-
I changed my name to Brian.
Fuck it. You're gonna go hard. You're gonna go alias hard on this guy. That's amazing, dude.
No, we did.
That's
George just
amazing.
called him an asshole for like,
Yes.
like 3 or 4 paragraphs.
It was a fucking like full essay on why this guy's a douchebag.
Because if people are asking a question that's relevant to the group, like, why are you going to shit on them? He was like, give exact details or shut the fuck up, was basically what he said.
Changing your name to an alias online is the equivalent of putting on a ski mask in real life. Like that's just popping up out of the bushes in disguise. And
They're just
attacking
walking
someone.
home, just after a long day's work, walking home, you pop out of the bushes with a fucking baseball bat. That's the equivalent.
Yeah. They forgot. They fucked someone up today. And they had no idea. That shit was coming
Oh,
back.
they'll never forget it after that experience.
Exact
Alias
details, huh?
great ass whipping.
Oh, is this
You
for being
know-
more specific?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm all for the insanity, man. You know, like it sounds like you guys, you just tore him apart. Like you like hurt his soul a little bit. Like
George's fucking full essay on why this dude is a class A dumbass. Just fucking scumbag.
did you like go through his old posts so you knew?
No, I know. Just from what he said, like I said, like what the fuck's the point of you being here? Just being all negative.
Honest to God, yeah.
Stop wasting everyone's time. Like,
Yeah.
like
You know,
why would he
people-
waste his time to give a shit?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you know, you're not even like making a controversial point that somebody could be offended by, and then you're not backing it up. Christ, you want information on backpacking for vacation?
And you think
That
people
makes you an ass? What the
people go backpacking to gain wisdom and look at other cultures and try and be a better person. This person comes back from their trip and they're like, you know what? Fuck it. I hate everyone.
I hate everyone. I hate everyone.
Like, I've been to every country in the world, and you know what? People just fuck you, man. Just fuck people.
You know what
I'm just
that
gonna live
means?
with my 27 cats.
Dude, that means that guy probably turned to backpacking because I'm going to go deep dive here. I'm going to say probably because he wasn't getting it social wise. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't mingling in his nearby surroundings. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to go rogue and I'm going to hit the road and I'm going to get some alone time. I'm going to, learn about myself a little bit. I'm going to meet other people who don't otherwise know me on travels and things will be better. And they weren't because he fucking sucks. And everywhere he went, no one liked him. And his time alone, when he was thinking to himself about himself, fucking sucked because he sucks. There's nothing redeemable about this piece of shit in any town, in any country, or any fucking silent moment alone. Nothing about that piece of garbage gives him peace. And he has nowhere else to go. He has nowhere else to go because what the fuck do you do next? You like learn to fly a plane by yourself and be in the air alone? There's nothing fucking left for this piece of shit. And so he's so mad that he has nowhere to look to better himself that when he hears you want to just enjoy something that blew up in his face, then he's like, oh yeah, you suck. You're not gonna fuck.
I love how far you went in on this, man. All right, yo, dude, if you're watching this, if the guy who commented on that post is watching this, How about you backpack off the fucking edge of the earth, dickhead?
Do it. Now scuba diving. The fish will hate you too, dude. It's not going to get you better. Fuck yourself, bro. Listen to this episode over and over and over again. Hear these 4 voices in minds and learn. Get better at fucking people, and then give good advice when people ask for it. What a piece of garbage.
Jer took a screenshot of the guy's chat, so we actually do have his username. So I'm gonna link him the video.
Oh god.
So wait, you think he's still on there? You could actually link. You could make sure this gets to him.
I'm like, yo,
That's
fuck you, dude.
Yeah, just post in the backpacking Reddit and put a timestamp where you start talking shit about this guy and be like, tag him in it and be like, this is you. You fucking did this.
Yes. And you can let him know. I'm a third party just learning about him now. And all I know is what you've told me, which is very little. And I already know the depth of his garbage existence. We would be a better planet if some fucking ginger would eat his soul. It would be a better place.
Oh my God.
You know what? Even they have diets and even they have taste, and none of them want to chew on his goddamn soul. And that's why he's stuck. Miserable.
Bro, his soul probably tastes like oats.
Rotten, moldy.
Soya milk, fuck that.
Chunky milk is what his soul tastes like.
Chunky milk, like in a hot car. Chunky milk. That's his soul.
Oh my God, I'm crying. Fuck.
You should think about becoming a teacher, dude, because fucking bullies would not bully anybody in the fucking class with you.
See some kid getting bullied out in the fucking school. You're like, hey, get the fuck away from that kid, you piece of shit.
Oh, dude, you know what? I'll give you some bully management psychosis. So I had this guy the other day, and he was telling me that his neighbor had complained that he was playing music at 4 in the afternoon. 4 in the afternoon, his neighbor complained that he was playing music and he didn't like the words in it. He was listening to some hip hop, some N-bombs, some fucking bitches, hoes, whatever. And but 4 in the afternoon, like, and I said, all right, look, you know what you do with a guy like that? You invite him over for a beer. You invite him over. The guy clearly, if he's listening to the words of your songs, he's really wishing he were at your party. Just have him over for a beer. Try to make right.
Jesus.
And if he ever complains again, after that, then you let him know, listen, I didn't give you a hard time when you tried to sell coke to my little brother in high school when you came to my party last week.
That sounds very specific.
That's so specific.
Yo, man, are you okay? Do you need to talk about some things?
This guy doesn't have to have ever held cocaine in his life. You don't have to have a younger brother. What matters is that he would have to defend not having sold cocaine to your underage brother at a specific party where he attended. I think that's it. I think the conversation's over and you can play whatever the fuck you want whenever you want. I think that.
I am going to blast music out of my house for the next fucking month.
Hey, whatever. Guy, whatever. Done. He's not. What's he gonna go?
Because he was his neighbors at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. He's just blasting fucking metal.
We don't want no fucking coke. Go away.
Yeah, we're trying to sell your coke at my parties, dickhead. We're not like that. We're good people. Fucking jerk. I'm trying to bring us down.
Your coke, Doug.
It's like we don't sell coke to underage people, just people of age.
Yeah, we're always decent. You creep. We didn't give you a hard time about that. We thought we were giving you a pass. Fuck, man. You mad about music? Shit. That's just, a guy told me this, former Marine told me one time. He said, don't ever convince anyone you're tough because they'll want to know how tough. Convince him you're crazy and they'll leave you the fuck alone.
That is smart as fuck.
Wants to find out how crazy you are. You never fight a guy who's already missing a tooth. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Oh my god.
You know, I said I'd never cry in a podcast, but well done, sir.
You've done it.
There was at
3
least
times.
one I wiped away earlier.
Cheers.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Right, lads. I think it's about time we end the podcast. You stick around at the end just to have a quick chat.
Oh, yeah,
Ending
we
on
did.
uncontrollable laughter is such a fucking finale. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know how I'm gonna
90% of that episode was uncontrollable laughter.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh my god.
I love this. You guys are great. You guys are a ton of fun.
Oh, it
Man,
was
you're
amazing
even
having
better.
you on.
Thank God we got you
You're-
on.
You're great, like, Jesus.
Well, hey, I'm going to check out more of you guys' stuff. I've been, like I said, working like a bastard. I barely had time to take a piss, but I'm going to go through. You guys have good taste and fun banter and shit. I'm going to check out more. Fuck. Yeah, maybe we'll do this again one day.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully.
Of course.
Fucking
We'll
legend.
happily have you on again.
Oh my god.
But next time we'll give you more of a heads up.
Oh,
We
yeah.
kind of got you last second today.
We don't need that shit. We don't need no heads up. Fuck it.
Text you
So,
5 minutes. Yo, you busy for the next, hour and a bit.
So thank you very much to
How
everyone who
about
watched.
1 o'clock? Let's do 1 o'clock. I get a call at 11:49. Yeah, we're on. What? I was about to go to the gym. I was on my way to the gym. I just was running late. Yeah, hilarious. All right. How about in 30 minutes? All right, cool. 30 minutes later. Hey, we need like another hour. We're gonna. Someone went to the store.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
That was Dara.
Let me know I wasn't dealing with stiffs. I liked it. I was like, I can hang with these guys. These guys are all right. They don't give a fuck.
Right, well, guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it there. Go check out his channel. We'll leave it linked. We will leave that shit linked. We'll leave all the stories we talked about linked as well.
Leave
And,
your Instagram, man.
Oh, yeah.
Coming
We'll
on, man. Jesus
leave
Christ.
everything, man.
This has been so
Thank
fucking
you
good.
so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks a million for getting on.
Guys.
Hilarious.
This is one of the best chuckles we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
That's what makes life worth living for me, baby. I'm into it. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, fucking A. Let's not be strangers.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
All right. Remember to like, subscribe, and tell your fucking grandmother about this fucking podcast. Take
Tell
her
your
hand.
cousin
Take her
too.
handy.
Or she's going in the lake
Hey!
Take
with
her hand.
a piece of turf.
See you guys. Have a good day.
You take her handy, boys.